Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Gothalion, and welcome back to Borderlands, the pre-sequel. And I have a few thoughts to give you guys today about some qualms I've got with the game. That being said, I like the pre-sequel. I thought it had an excellent story. It has some of the best action inside a Borderlands game, but I feel like the end game wasn't exactly fully thought out as they went into it, meaning the end product feels like it might be a little bit rushed, meaning the end product might be relying on DLCs to hold people's attention for maybe even half as much as Borderlands 2 held our attention. I find myself playing Borderlands the pre-sequel and kind of feeling like I want to go play Borderlands 2. That doesn't mean I hate the game. I like the game. I really like the game. I don't love the game. I like the game. I don't love it. And it comes down to a few key reasons. The main of which is unfarmable bosses that drop unique loot. Unique loot that after you kill these bosses and progress through the storyline, you can no longer go back and get from said kill. There's no secondary kill from it. So at that point you are then relying on getting it from the grinder or sadly in a vending machine, because it seems like legendary drop rates inside of vending machines have been drastically increased inside of Borderlands the pre-sequel. So for certain legendaries, let's say the ZX1, you're now relying on finding it inside of a vending machine, or you're going to kill Iwajira a bunch of times, get thingies, and then hopefully grind out a ZX1 if that's a piece of gear you want. Then let's take a look at the amazing shooting star, which arguably is an overpowered shield, super broken and should be balanced, but you can only get it to drop from one enemy inside the game. Not only not a key enemy either. He's basically just a souped up normal enemy inside a negligible quest line. Without knowing that it drops from him, you would never know. So you would never know where this shield comes from, because I've never seen it drop naturally. Even when I turn on third-party programs and make loot explode everywhere, I have never seen it drop, meaning that it cannot drop as a world drop, and it is tied to his loot pool, though I have seen it inside of vending machines. Is this the kind of endgame we want from this series? Inside of Borderlands 2, most guns that weren't uniques from quests could drop anywhere inside the game, and the specific enemies that you're supposed to farm respawned. When they don't respawn, that's an issue. There's more than enough that I can count on a single hand that don't respawn, and that is an issue for the end game. Other than that, I feel like a lot of the areas inside Borderlands the pre-sequel are kind of drab, and I knew what we were getting into with the moon, but I didn't know how it would affect endgame mobbing. And endgame mobbing, while some of the best combat inside of the Borderlands series, period, kind of feels like it gets old after a while, and I kind of find myself wanting to go back and play Borderlands 2. I'm like, man, I want to go run around Liarsburg, or dude, I want to go run around the Highlands. You know, I think setting really sets the tone for your farming sessions, and if you find yourself looking at rocks with purple, rocks with red, rocks with green, and holy shit, maybe a city, then that might be an issue. I am hoping that the DLC could save the game, because I know that the base game of Borderlands 2 didn't have the end game that Borderlands 2 has now, and it took 6 months of building on that base game. I'm saying Borderlands the pre-sequel needs Tiny Tina level content. Tiny Tina's Tiny Tina's whatever, the fucking Dragon's Keep DLC. That quality of content moving forward and able to propel it to have a compelling endgame that makes me as a player want to play for hours. Do I still want to do videos on Borderlands pre-sequel? Yes, I love doing Borderlands videos and will continue to be doing so for a long, long time. I have no issues sitting down, recording some gameplay for 5 minutes and doing a commentary over it. I enjoy that. But as far as long play times, I'm not loving it as much as I loved Borderlands 2, and I went back and played Borderlands 2 the other day, and it just feels like there's so much more to do, even in just the base game, even without any sort of DLC attached, because at the end of Borderlands 2, we had the Warrior, we had Terramorphous, we had Vermivorous, or Vimivorous, however you want to pronounce it. We had those bosses. Inside of Borderlands 2, We also had a large handful of mini-bosses. We had the Bunker, who is arguably a boss. We had Wilhelm, who had a health bar. There's a lot of enemies to farm inside of Borderlands 2. Key notes is that there are actually 2 invincibles at the launch of Borderlands 2, and the pre-sequel launched with 1 invincible, which is just a reworked version of the end raid inside of Borderlands the pre-sequel, and I think that is also an issue. I don't want you guys to take my thoughts on this as disdain of the series. Borderlands, hand down, is my favorite series of all time, and I love it. And when you love something, you need to be able to point out its flaws and say that this is not working right now. So what do you guys expect from DLC? Moving forward, DLC will determine the longevity of this game. Borderlands 2 was fun for me up until the last day I stopped playing it until the pre-sequel came out. It was fun. It's so fun if I pick it up. I could play it for hours on end, and I enjoy every second because there's so much variety. Pre-sequel doesn't feel like it has that. Where do we need to go with this series? Will you be satisfied with DLC that keeps us on the moon, or do we need to go to Pandora? Do we need to focus on boss fights? Do they need to rework drops? So drops that come off of, say, Zarpedon, or off of the power loading noob. Do these drops need to come from elsewhere? Because unfarmable enemies is major letdown inside of Borderlands. Let me know how you guys feel. I like this game a lot. It had the best storyline inside of a Borderlands game to date. But the end game feels hollow to me. And it makes me want to play Borderlands 2, and I will, and I do. So let me know how you guys feel. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys back in Borderlands the pre-sequel. Yeah, I'm going to keep playing because I like it, and I got hope that the DLC will save it. Let me know how you guys feel.